Today's story features Lani and Alvaro, whose forbidden love challenges destiny on a remote Pacific island. Stay tuned for passion, conflict, and the power of love. In the lush heart of a paradise island in the Pacific Ocean, where the jungle whispered secrets and the ocean serenaded the shore, there lived a girl named Lani. Her world was vibrant, filled with the rich greens of towering palms and the bright colors of exotic flowers. Lani was as spirited as the island itself, her laughter echoing through the trees, a melody in harmony with the island's song. Life on the island was tranquil, a rhythm set by the rise and fall of the tides until the arrival of foreign ships, carrying men whose desires were cast in shadow, aiming to claim the land and its treasures. Among these men was Alvaro, the young son of a ruthless conqueror. Unlike his father, Alvaro was a soul torn between duty and his burgeoning moral compass, his heart not yet hardened by ambition. The first time Alvaro saw Lani, she was dancing by the fire during a feast meant to foster trust between the islanders and the newcomers. Her movements were poetry, a visual symphony that captured the very essence of life on her island. Alvaro, hidden in the shadows, watched captivated, the firelight casting golden hues on Lani's face, reflecting her joy and freedom, a stark contrast to the darkness he felt within. Compelled beyond reason, Alvaro began to seek Lani out, learning her language under the guise of diplomacy. Their meetings were stolen moments, where the sounds of the jungle concealed their burgeoning friendship. Lani taught him of her island's beauty, its secrets, and the legends passed down through generations. Through her eyes, Alvaro saw a world not to conquer, but to protect. As days turned into weeks, their friendship deepened into something more, a quiet love, unspoken but palpable. They shared stories, dreams, and silent looks that spoke volumes. Lani showed Alvaro the sacred places of her people, spots where the earth seemed alive, vibrant with energy. With each passing day, Alvaro's resolve to defy his father's ambitions strengthened. But their love was a fragile thing, threatened not only by Alvaro's lineage but by the looming intent of his people. As the conqueror's demands grew, tension simmered like the storm clouds on the horizon. Alvaro stood at a crossroads, his heart anchored to Lani, yet bound to the legacy of his father. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with streaks of orange and purple, Lani took Alvaro to a secluded cove. The air was heavy with the scent of salt and blooming night flowers. There, with the gentle lap of waves as their only witness, Lani and Alvaro confessed their love. It was a moment suspended in time, a pledge made under the stars yet marked by the urgent beat of war drums in the distance, signaling a future neither could escape. As they parted that night, the weight of their choices lay before them, a path riddled with danger and sacrifice. Alvaro's heart ached with the knowledge of the impending storm. He knew he must choose between the life he was born into and the future he yearned to build with Lani. But as he looked back at her, her silhouette framed by moonlight, he realized he had already made his choice. As dawn broke over the island, the crisp air was fraught with the tension of impending conflict. The islanders, once welcoming and open, now watched the horizon with wary eyes. Lani, with the secret of her love for Alvaro nestled deep within her, felt the dual pull of her duties to her people and her heart. Alvaro, torn and restless, paced the shores, wrestling with his conscience. Each day brought more soldiers from his father's fleet, each one a reminder of the looming threat to the island and to Lani. His father, oblivious to his son's internal turmoil, planned his strategies openly, viewing the island merely as a prize to be subdued and claimed. In the quiet hours of early morning, Alvaro met with Lani in their secret cove, the urgency of their situation hanging heavy between them. "We cannot let this be," Alvaro whispered, his voice a mix of determination and fear. "My father, he will destroy all that you hold dear if we do not act." Lani's eyes, a mirror to the stormy seas, flashed with resolve. "We will stand against him, Alvaro. My people are fighters, and we will protect our home." But her voice faltered, the reality of battling Alvaro's people a formidable and well-armed force weighing heavy on her heart. Alvaro took her hands, the touch a balm to their frayed nerves. "I will speak to my father. Perhaps I can sway him, show him the beauty of this place, not as a conqueror, but as someone who has come to love it as you do." Their plan was a desperate one. Alvaro approached his father under the guise of strategic counsel, advocating for a peaceful coexistence that would benefit both their people and the islanders. His father, cunning and unyielding, listened with a skeptic's ear, dismissing Alvaro's change of heart as youthful naivety. Frustrated but not deterred, Alvaro sought another way. He began to secretly aid the islanders, passing them information and advising them on the conqueror's tactics. With each passing day, his double life grew more perilous, the weight of his betrayal to his bloodline heavy on his shoulders. Meanwhile, Lani rallied her people, her spirit igniting theirs. Together, they fortified their defenses and prepared for the worst. Her leadership and courage became the beacon of hope for her tribe, her love for Alvaro fueling her resolve. The tension reached a boiling point one fateful night when Alvaro's father, growing impatient with the lack of progress, ordered a surprise attack on the village. Forewarned by Alvaro, the islanders were ready. The night air was split by the sounds of conflict shouts, the clash of steel, and the heartbreaking cries of battle. In the chaos, Alvaro found Lani, fighting fiercely alongside her people. They shared a fleeting glance, a moment of sorrow and love mingled as one. Together they fought back to back, the bond between them a stark contrast to the division around them. As dawn approached, the battle waned. Exhausted and bloodied, the islanders had managed to hold their ground thanks in part to Alvaro's insider knowledge. But the victory was bittersweet. The island lay wounded, its beauty marred by the scars of battle. Lani and Alvaro stood amidst the aftermath, their futures uncertain as the shifting tides. In that quiet after the storm, Alvaro's father confronted him, his eyes alight with the fury of betrayal. "You have sided with them," he accused, his voice low and dangerous. "You have forsaken your own blood." Alvaro faced his father, his stance resolute. "I have chosen love over conquest," he declared, his decision ringing clear in the breaking dawn. The consequence of his choice hung in the air, a looming threat that promised more strife. Yet, standing beside Lani, with her hand in his, Alvaro felt a peace he had never known. As the sun rose, casting light on the weary but defiant faces of the islanders, a new chapter awaited them, a chapter fraught with the promise and peril of a love that could either bridge two worlds or bring them both crashing down. The morning sun cast long shadows across the ravaged landscape of the island, painting a stark reminder of the night's violence. The air, still heavy with the scent of salt and smoke, carried the somber realization of the cost of their defiance. The islanders, though victorious, mourned their losses deeply, the community bound by grief and a newfound resilience. In the midst of this aftermath, Alvaro faced his father's wrath. The confrontation had left a divide as deep as the ocean between them. His father, unable to grasp the strength of Alvaro's convictions, issued a grim ultimatum: return to his side and abandon the island or be cast out, forsaken as an enemy. With Lani's hand gripping his, Alvaro made his choice. I stand with Lani, with her people. I choose a life of meaning and love over one of conquest and sorrow, he declared firmly, his voice echoing the resolve that had grown in his heart. His father, enraged and feeling betrayed, turned his back on Alvaro, disowning him in front of both the conquerors and the islanders. As his father's ships pulled away from the shore, a palpable sense of relief mixed with the heavy burden of the future washed over Alvaro. He watched as the sails disappeared on the horizon, knowing he had forever altered the course of his life. Turned from his lineage and embraced by the island, Alvaro and Lani worked together to heal their community. Lani, ever the heart of her people, led with compassion and strength, guiding them through the reconstruction of their home. Alvaro, using the skills and knowledge from his past, helped fortify the island's defenses and foster a new era of peace and cooperation. As the days grew into weeks and weeks into months, the island slowly regained its former beauty. The jungle resumed its chorus, the beaches washed clean of the scars of battle, and in this rebirth, Alvaro and Lani's love flourished. They were married under the ancient trees in a ceremony that blended their cultures, a symbol of their united futures. The story of the island of Lani and Alvaro became a legend of love's triumph over adversity. It was a testament to the power of love to cross oceans, to challenge destiny, and to change the course of history. Years later, as Alvaro and Lani walked hand in hand along the beach, watching their children play by the shore, they reflected on the journey that had brought them here. The island was alive with the laughter of the next generation, a living symbol of hope and unity. Do you ever regret it? Leaving your old life for this? Lani asked softly, her eyes searching Alvaro's. Alvaro smiled, his gaze sweeping over their home, their family, and the vibrant life they had built together. Not for a single moment, he replied, his voice thick with emotion. For in you and this island, I found my true self, a purpose greater than any empire my father could have ever dreamed of. As the sun set, casting a golden glow over the island, Alvaro and Lani stood together, their hearts full. They had faced unimaginable challenges, but their love, like the island itself, endured, stronger and more beautiful for having weathered the storm. In the quiet twilight, the echo of their love story reverberated through the island and beyond, a melody of hope, resilience, and the enduring power of the human heart.